Just wanted to talk to you guys today about not letting anything control your narrative. I had a conversation with some guys in a support group that I'm a part of, and it's a big matter for me. The reason why is because for the majority of my life, I let other people control the narrative in a multitude of ways. So, for example, there have been people out there that want to throw down that stigmatism on me as far as being a man. Honestly, let me be real here. Some love interest where they would be like, "Oh, you're a man. You shouldn't be so emotional." Even if it's been anything that has to do with like financial or a man shouldn't do this or whatever. There's some perceptions is the best way to put it, and they put these perceptions and their views in my face, and it caused me to think pretty ill about myself after a while, because it was like, wow, I've always wanted to improve my life, myself along the way. And I guess the best way of putting it is that I let these people get inside my head, and then I started doubting myself and thinking down about myself. And you never want to have a negative voice about yourself in your head, but for a lot of us it can be more easier than the next person. So I was always thinking to myself, like, wow, I've heard this from that person, this from the other person, blah, blah, blah. And I've reached a point in my life where I could say, the fuck ever. Don't get me wrong. I really do care about self-improvement. I want to do the best that I can to be right by other people, but more especially for myself. So, I'm willing to listen to what other people have to say in order to learn for growth. But something I got to share with you is that a lot of the times I find that the people that are saying shit are just as fucked up in their own way. Everybody's fucked up in some way, shape, or form. Everyone's messed up, dude. So, for instance, maybe I'm Mr. Emotional, or Mr. I don't have my financials correct, but there's other people out there that are suffering from their own. As far as love interests have to go, maybe they're just dirty. They just have a dirty life. They don't clean. They're lazy. Their home is just ridden with a bunch of nastiness and funk. Or maybe they're the toxic mother that doesn't know how to discipline their child. Or, this person is, while they're saying, hey, you're a narcissist, which I've been called only one time in my life by one in particular person. And it turned out that, yeah, after doing some study and evaluation, and I am not a narcissist. And the truth is that everybody has narcissistic tendencies, some more so than others. And sometimes there's a certain situation that brings it up. But it's like, come on, dude. What the hell's wrong with you? You ain't even looking in a mirror. That's what I'm getting at. Like, how are you supposed to say anything? Like, you're perfect. A lot of these people, they have their life in shambles in some way, shape, or form that's worse than mine in other aspects. Kind of equated to the whole MMORPG. You know how you've got certain attributes, right? You know what I mean? Hey, this person's got more luck. This person's got more health. This person's better with weapons. This person, there's stats to everything. And maybe this person's stats are fucked up in some way that's like mine, but in a different way. I guess I could say is like similar, right? Not exactly the same, but similar ways. It isn't until I'm being judged where I start seeing like, damn, this person, they stepping out the side of their mouth on some bullshit, and they're fucked up too, but they don't want to look in the mirror. They don't even give a damn. Most people don't give a damn. Most. To want to self-improve, to want to do something different. They don't want to look in the mirror. And then the majority of the time, like when you're like, hey, by the way, while you're throwing your tidbit at me, what about you? And then falls on deaf ears. They don't want to listen. So what the hell is that? So you want to call me out on some shit, but when the tables are turned, you don't want to face your own quote unquote truth, right? And then there's a lot more people that are just toxic. They use the word narcissistic or other types of descriptions, language or whatever, just to manipulate you. And that's another thing. Is the person that's coming at you with this trying to manipulate you? All of it controls a narrative. Don't allow anybody to control your narrative. I believe the general narrative should just be, am I doing well? Am I making myself happy? Am I improving? For myself, I'll admit, It's been a lot of areas that I'm needing to improve in, and it's been little bits over time. I'm working on myself. Hey, I would rather be slow about it than not do it at all. There's some people out there that don't give a shit. I'm fine the way I am, and they're toxic and they're harmful, or whether it's to themselves or to other people. And I know I'm not one of those. I give a damn. I look myself in the mirror every day, and I really do think to myself, like, all right, what's going on with me today? That's gonna, that's under the microscope as of late. That makes me want to change this particular thing about myself. I think that's a massive attribute. I don't want to throw any stigmatism on men, but let's face it, women do certain things and men do certain things. We're different in our own ways. But one thing I want to say about most men is most men don't give a damn. They just don't. Some don't need to because they're doing well, but the real narcissists are the ones that are doing toxic things, cheating, abuse, and a number of other things. They just don't give a shit. They just think everything's okay. And why the hell do I need to change anything? So it's pretty disappointing to hear somebody out there allowing somebody else or something else to pretty much run their narrative. You got to set yourself free on that. I believe, as I mentioned before, it just should be all about, what are you doing with your life that makes you happy? And is it contributing to a good life? Because as long as you're being true to yourself and you're improving in some way, like kind is gonna accept you. And if they're not of like kind, who cares? That's not your tribe, right? We want to find our tribe. And let's face it, with our tribe, there's a lot of variance. There's a lot of key differences between us and some of the people that are in our tribe, even especially amongst themselves. But there's there's core things that are very important to us. For me, for example, are you a good person? Do you do bad things? Do you enjoy doing bad things? Do you enjoy harming others? Do you like controlling others? Really, are you poisonous? Are you poisoning the well? I don't want to be around shit like that. And also, do you take life too seriously? Look, at one point in time, I was a teenager. And then I was a young adult. And I was a kid too. I still like doing some of those things. I don't need somebody to come around that's my age, 47 or whatever, in that age group and be like, oh, you act like a kid and blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, I enjoy my time. Don't judge me. Some people that actually say that kind of stuff, they may have like a beautiful home and nice car and they're working fucking 60, 70 hours a week, and more power to you if that's you. But they're not even enjoying their life, really. I'm literally in the small space, and I think I found more joy being alone in my small space than most of these people that are out there working their asses off for something that they can't, like, they may be enjoying some of it, but are they really at peace and content? Maybe, like, I was a part of a few group therapy sessions. It went on for a few months. After my surgery, I had some, mental and emotional issues because it was a very scary experience. I thought I was going to lose myself. I met people who had a lot of dope materialistic things, travel and everything, and they were way more effed up than me in depression and sadness and anxiety and a number of other things that can affect one's life, and affect one's joy, really. They really didn't have any joy. And I got to say, I know I didn't have a lot of joy, but I know I had more than some of these people. And I found that they were letting people control their narrative. Family, or most times someone that they were with, married to, involved with, someone that's long-term, even though they may not have been married. And that's the empowerment you don't want to give to anyone. You want to be able to let somebody be in your life in a peaceful way where they're contributing to a great life experience, but not to grab the fucking steering wheel. That's your steering wheel. You direct it where you want to go. You know, if you're having trouble, sometimes you might need a co-pilot, but overall, letting somebody steer you in a certain direction that you're not going to be happy with, that sucks. Maybe one person's idea of having a wonderful life is, oh, look, I've got a beautiful home and I've got, you know, my wonderful car and, you know, this American dream, picket fence. Look, I'm different. I wouldn't even say I'm simple. I can say that, but, you know, I'm fine with renting a place, having my quiet little room, playing my video games, editing, making music. I'm content with those things. And people used to make me feel guilty about that. What do you do with your life? I'm fucking enjoying it while you're stressing. And it's true. They may have more, but they're stressing a whole hell of a lot than me. Hope all that money and good shit is worth it. And there's other people that do have a lot that know how to combine it all. And that's the mastery of it all. Those are the people that I really admire, that I would gravitate to. You know? I want to learn from people like that. Like, wow, you're really successful. And you seem to live in a manner that is just exhilarating and it's joyful. That right there is somebody I wouldn't let control my narrative, but I would want to be influenced by, like, how are you doing this? I want to learn how to do it. Now, that's a good narrative. But please, nobody out there should be nailing you with any type of, you know, stigmatisms, judging you in a way that is harmful to you, and no one should be controlling your narrative. You know, it's one thing to be a friend and be like, hey, listen, you know, these are certain areas that I'm seeing that you're faltering in, and I love and I care about you. And I think that, you know, in the position that you're in, some of the things that you've shared, this could be helpful to you. You know, just wanted to share that with you. Oh, wait, you don't want to hear it? You don't want to be bothered by it? That's fine. We're still friends. It's cool. Just, you know, ever want to talk about it, let me know. But nothing's changed between us. I love you. And I just want to be here with you, for you. Not, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, this is bullshit. And you live like trash, or, you know, you just, you know, making you feel terrible. If they care about you and they really love you and they want you in their life, then they got to speak in a way that's healthy and caring and loving. Something that's inspiring and positive. Anyway, I guess that's all I want to share right now. I got some cool things I want to do. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.